off. Blast off.
Hello, I am Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also co-founder, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow. If you're brand new to Keto Chow and you didn't see last night's live stream, Keto Chow is a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for daily updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. Thanks so much for joining us on our keto journey.
Indeed. Do you want to close the door all the
Sure.
way? Thanks. Anyway, hi everybody. Thank you. Let's see, who do we got in the chat so far? Dennis is here, so is Becca.
Hello.
Dennis is talking about going outside and getting some sun. We're going to be doing that today.
Yes.
Well, tomorrow. Whatever.
Too soon.
Yep. Stwong is here. Yeah, we did invite Dr. Bickman to Keto Salt Lake. He wasn't able to make the 2022, but he was there for the 2019.
Yeah.
And Dave Feldman fell asleep during his presentation.
Uh-huh.
So good fun. Gary says, what does Wednesday have that no other day has? The letter W. It's true.
Probably.
Debbie's here. Lashana is here in as well. Glenda says
Oh.
it's 79 in Florida. That's a good temperature.
That's so nice.
Wow.
It's 48 here.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Wow. Rita says good morning. Let's see. Susan is here as well. Antoinette says hello.
Hello.
Eddie's here. My ketogenic family's here also.
Hi,
Matt
guys.
says, I might want to check Miriam's mic. She's quieter than normal.
You know why? Because I put it in a weird spot because I have this lower shirt. Boop. Hello.
Hold on. Let me just double check something really quick.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're on.
I'm on. I'm on to it. I'll just
She's
talk
on it.
closer to
I'm
my
also
shirt.
louder than ever. Yeah, always.
Louder than ever.
Salt and Butter Vibe says good morning. Hello. And Shauna is here. Said happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I thought it said
Shauna.
happy Wednesday morning. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Julie's here. So is Lynette. Stwong says I should see when my Keto Chow is going to arrive. Should be soon.
Nice.
Cindy's back from Washington State.
Hi, Cindy.
Maska Wolf is here.
Hello. How are you today?
So is Randy,
Hi, Randy.
from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Nice.
Visual Ketos here. Dennis says sound. I don't know. I think. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me just double check something.
You might have made it low.
I might not have. No, it's on the right thing. Hold on a second.
Hello. Maybe it's muted.
No. Oh, maybe it is muted.
It doesn't have a slashy through it.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good.
Well, I was tapping it, and it was.
Tap, tap, taparoo.
You're not supposed to tap microphones, by the way.
Yeah, don't tap those.
Anyway, Kathy says happy Wednesday. Let's see. Jen says good morning, Miriam. Are you still walking every morning? You walked this morning.
I walked this morning.
Yeah.
I haven't walked in a couple of weeks since before Keto Salt Lake. Usually I do walk every day but Friday, well, weekdays. But my lady went out of town that I walk with, and then we had a lot of stuff. And I've been focusing on getting sleep for a while now. So if we go to bed late and I don't feel good in the morning, I'll go back to sleep. And I'm not doing it to be idle or lazy. I'm doing it because I am needing to sleep.
Okay.
So,
Protect the asset.
yes, protect the asset. So I went back to sleep this morning after I took a walk.
Yep.
And that's why I just got out of the shower and got here like 2 minutes ago.
Nice. Shelly says greetings from sunny Phoenix, Arizona, not New Zealand.
Not New Zealand.
No Phoenix, New Zealand. That's not a thing.
I'm willing to go there. Let's find one.
Then he says, good morning, everyone. Ordered my peanut butter and grape so that it ships with my April Chow box tomorrow.
Nice. That's so awesome.
Fantastic. Dennis says cutting out. Oh, interesting.
I'm sorry.
I wonder if the audio is going weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. The levels look okay. Kathy
Okay.
says sound is fine.
pull
Sound
it
is
up?
fine here. Cindy says I'm having my mocha keto chow as we sit here. I'm waiting for my brother
Nice.
in the doctor's office. Couldn't do without my keto chow.
I'm glad you get to be there.
We're gonna have keto chow tomorrow for breakfast while we are. Yeah, that sounds
like
good.
It's okay.
Anyway, we're going to be having keto chow tomorrow while we are
On the boat.
on the boat. Well, we might be still traveling to the boat because I think that we're going to be staying in St. George
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm super bummed about that actually.
But you know what today is? It's National Prime Rib Day.
Why are we not eating prime rib right now?
I don't know. Maybe we should stop somewhere on the way down there. Well, when we get to
St. George.
St. George, see if there's some place. Depends on how late we're getting there.
It'll probably be late.
Pat says sound is good here too. Is good here? Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that.
The nice thing
Bonnie-
about going today is then we'll have pretty much the whole day tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm bummed that we're not going to be there today.
Yep.
But that means we have more time to play tomorrow. Which should
Bonnie
be
says, good
fine.
morning from Anchorage, Alaska.
Good morning. How are you, Bonnie?
I want to do a cruise to Alaska at some point.
I do too.
My parents have done a couple, and they really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Dr. Maitreya is here,
Hi,
says hello.
Maitreya. How are
Meg's
you?
little house in the country says, I'm at work, but listening in. We had a beautiful sunrise this morning, and then the clouds
Nice.
moved in. I was really hoping for a sunny day.
Oh, I know, right? It's supposed to be somewhat cloudy here, too.
Dorothy says, I upped the date to today on my chow since I'm running out of Keto Chow and panicking.
You need it.
Yeah, and in case you guys didn't know, once you've created an account, subscription for my chow, you can go into the portal and edit like
Excuse
when the
me.
next delivery date is, how frequently it recurs. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can change the flavors. Like there's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. And you could sneeze into the microphone.
Yeah,
I bet
you
you guys
can.
heard that just fine.
This guy says, late to the party. What did I miss? Oh, never mind. I can read. Haha, right. Let's
you're
see.
here. Jen, how are you? I just saw Jen.
Okay.
I mean, people talking to Jen.
Oh, Cindy says, yeah, you're cutting in and out for me too. Weird.
Oh, dang it.
Oh. Nancy says, good morning. Sunny today, finally. Haven't been here in a while. Weird.
Oh, dang it.
Nancy says, good morning.
Now we're not talking.
Sounds fine to me. Let's see. My ketogenic family says, I'll come to Alaska with y'all.
Yeah?
I wonder if they'd ever do a low-carb cruise to Alaska. That'd
I
be
don't
interesting.
know.
You know what? I think they used to. They used to do 2 a year.
Well, isn't there...
But that was in the before times.
Isn't the thing that there's only certain cruise lines that do Alaska?
Yeah.
So it might be that the one that we do
Yep.
isn't one of those.
Bonnie says, yeah, you should come to Alaska. It's so pretty,
I want to do that.
especially during the summer when it's mosquito season.
Yeah. Can you scuba dive there?
I'm sure you could.
In the ice?
Oh, man. Okay, so yesterday, I think we talked about this on the live stream last night. We were looking at different scuba diving stuff in Lake Mead. And one of the things that you can't go to because you have to have special stuff
Also, you have to be certified cooler than us.
yeah, there's a
We're like
B-29
baby certified.
that crashed into the lake. And it's 300 feet down, which is really,
Deep.
really deep. You have to have really special gear in order to get down there. And up until a couple of years ago, it was still like super pristine. And then the quagga mussels started coming into the lake. And now it's just covered in, it looks like barnacles.
Yeah.
Super sad.
But the pictures from before that were cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's still cool. Anyway, my ketogenic family says, bless you.
Thank you.
Mike says there's a Cracker Barrel and a Texas Roadhouse in St. George, but I've never tried either one yet. Well, Texas Roadhouse is what it's
I know.
at.
I love Texas Roadhouse.
Well, so here's the thing.
Better at ours.
Okay,
but-
so let's talk about this now. When we started keto, one of the things that we discovered that we needed to do is we needed to find new restaurants to go to.
Yep. Because I have an emotional attachment to the sandwich from Zupa's.
Yep.
And the
or
French
the
fries
French
from
fries
Red
from Red
Robin.
Robin. Like there's a, and so we stopped going to the restaurants that we used to go to. We go to them on occasion if somebody really wants to go to one, but we found new places that we know that this particular thing is something that works really well for us. Like I had never gone to Buffalo Wild Wings before I started keto.
Me neither.
I think I might have gone to Texas Roadhouse like 3 or 4 times.
We had been a couple of years keto before we started doing Buffalo Wild Wings.
And so it's interesting. We just had to find new places to go so that we don't have that same thing. And it is nice to have something that you can know that that's okay. Kind of like, well, that's what we use Keto Chow for. It's like, well, I don't know what to have for a meal. Okay, I'm going to have Keto Chow. Autopilot. Whereas if we're going out to dinner and it's like, where do we want to go? It's like steakhouse. Any steakhouse is going to do.
Any steakhouse.
If it's a Brazilian steakhouse, even
better.
better. But there's a couple of chain restaurants that we know that we can go to. We know what we're going to order. It's always funny to me when we go to Texas Roadhouse and the host or hostess will say, "So have you ever been here before?" And we're like,
Yeah, we live
in
here.
like 13 states. And they're like, okay. So anyway.
Yeah, but I think you have that familiarity, you have that association, and so you either need to break that or make it, right?
Yep.
And now we can go pretty much anywhere and find something that we would like that's keto. Some of them are better than others.
You can even go to, oh my gosh, the Olive Garden. You can go to Olive Garden and eat keto, but about the only thing you can eat is the salmon.
Yeah.
Like everything else is, although
I'm sure there's more things.
I've never tried it before,
We
but
just
my
haven't gone
understanding
there
is
very many
you can
times.
do the, what's it called? The white sauce.
Alfredo sauce?
You can do chicken Alfredo on broccoli.
Yeah, we just haven't
I've
yet.
never tried it before, but my understanding is they'll do it.
It's because we don't go there. There's only like 2 kind of close by.
Yeah.
It used to be one of those that was like a fancy, fun restaurant for us to
Yep.
go to. And we would always get the carbs. All the carbs.
All the carbs. Anyway, Danny says you guys sound fine. And yeah, Lisa says you guys sound fine as well.
Oh, thank you.
Mary J says, Mary J Angel, sorry, says Miriam was loud and clear here in Maryland.
Yes.
Well, Dennis, you need to go to Maryland. And
That's
Miriam will
right.
sound okay.
Then you'll be able to hear
Anyway,
me.
Mike says, good morning, folks. Let's see. Stwong says, I would love to do a Princess Low Carb cruise to Alaska.
Let's do it.
Two Crazy Ketos is here.
Hello. How are
I
you?
am behind on my Two Crazy Ketos video watching.
I'm so behind on everything. I have like 500 watch later videos. that
We
I
have a couple of airplane flights coming up, which is where I
know.
tend to really catch up on my
Yeah.
media consumption.
Although sometimes I have a hard time with YouTube videos because if they're just slow moving, then the time doesn't go super fast.
That's true.
I really like YouTube for going on the treadmill, but I also haven't been doing that.
I need to start doing that again too.
Mm-hmm.
This guy says the diving in the lake meet is stellar no matter what certification
Oh,
level.
that's
I've been
perfect.
diving there for over near 20 years. When the
That's
lake
good
is
to
low,
know.
which it might be now, it is. It's super
It is really low, yeah.
There are more things visible.
Yes, well that's good because that's what we want to see. And I'm just going to try real hard not to lose my buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go up to the surface, I'm not going to stress because that means that's where we're meant to go.
Now, this is interesting. Carrie says, I doubt you could do keto at Golden Corral. I don't know. Because
Oh, I'm sure you
I've gone
could.
to a bunch of different buffets like that, which are really heavy on the carbs.
A lot of times they have like the big slices of meat
Yeah, they'll have, well, it's
like
not
a
really,
roast
it's
beef.
roast beef.
or
And
like
they,
a ham.
and it's funny because the roast beef they're always stingy with, but if you just keep on getting more of it, they'll just keep giving it to you.
Yeah.
And they'll usually have like baked chicken. Mm-hmm. I've even taken their fried chicken and just pulled all of the stuff off the outside.
Yeah, they have shrimp too a lot of times.
Yeah.
I think the thing about a buffet in general is you have quite a bit of cross-contamination.
Yeah.
And so you just have to kind of be prepared for that. If it's not super often, I think it would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that you do all the time, you're just going to have to know that there might be something you'll have
Yeah.
a problem with.
And I guess another argument for not going to one of those buffets is
You're not going
if
to overeat as much.
well, and if you have a problem with going with the missing out and everybody else is eating
FOMO.
ice cream and pie and stuff like that, like if you're not in a good place, then that might not be the best choice.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, and just acknowledging that, like, you know what, I am not having the best day or I'm not having the best month and I want to be more successful,
Yeah.
pick a steakhouse. Like, pick a place you know you're only going to order the thing that you want, it'll be satiating, and then you'll be happy.
Well, no, I run into
Really
the
good
same
point.
sort of thing with when I'm here at work, and there's not a lot of like snacking options.
Mm-hmm.
I do fantastic. When I'm at home, as long as I don't make that first trip to the cupboard to grab the thing of almonds and go, I'm okay. But once it starts,
Can't
it's
stop.
hard to stop.
Yeah, we need to just stop buying nuts, honey. Like,
So-
you get one nut pass a day, and they
One
have to be
nut.
pre-packaged.
Well, and that's when I first started keto, I would take the big bag of the
Yep.
smokehouse almonds and I would take the little snack bags and I would weigh out an ounce, weigh out an ounce,
I
weigh
think
out
we
an
should
ounce.
do that again.
I finally got to the point where I was just using a third of a cup scoop, which was close enough to a 1 ounce serving. I was
Yeah.
like, meh.
I've done that with like the keto cereals too, because it's really easy
yeah.
to fill up a giant bowl with the keto cereal, and the keto cereals aren't that great anyway, so it's not like it's a lot of nutrients.
Some of them aren't. Some of them aren't bad.
Yeah, but
some
I
of them
have
are like,
been-
what the?
I have a subscription to Magic Spoon, and I did for the high key, but I think high key is discontinuing theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
interesting.
and I don't think the Magic Spoon is that great either, but I'd rather have my kids eating that than the cereal from the grocery
I
store.
actually really like the schoolyard snacks ones,
Yeah, we have a subscription to those too.
which are the little puffy ones that are either peanut butter flavored or kind of fruity
Yeah.
flavored. I like the ingredients that are in those better than a lot of the other ones because they're not using fibers as a
Yeah.
sweetener.
And we typically will use Keto Chow as the milk. And then it's
Which is
actually a meal.
nuts.
Like it feels good. And then it's just a little bit of cereal. So that's the thing. You got to measure those portions, because especially like if you're trying to be honest with yourself. If you have this big bowl of keto cereal, that's like 5 servings.
Debbie says, I went to Texas Roadhouse last weekend and ate the whole
Nice.
20-ounce prime rib.
Oh my
The only other thing was
gosh.
Caesar salad with no croutons.
Nice. That's so awesome.
Ginger says
Bet
Red
you're
Robin
full.
has great lettuce wraps. And
There's a big
I'm sure that
breakfast
they
I was
do.
looking at.
I just can't go to Red Robin
Yeah, it's
because
because we want those fries, and I have that association. So we have been there quite a few
Oh,
times
yeah.
since then, and yeah. Oh, Holly said we should get Texas takeout for dinner tonight.
then we just change up who's driving and who's not.
Yeah.
We have steak knives in the car, but they're kind of packed up front. Sky says, when I travel, Cracker Barrel is one of my go-to boondocking places because in the morning I know I can easily and affordably get a good
Oh
keto
yeah, they
breakfast.
probably do have like eggs.
If you can find any place that makes breakfast,
Yeah, that's totally a great option.
it's
always.
so easy to do keto. The one caveat to that is places like Denny's and IHOP will frequently put pancake batter in the eggs
Yes.
to make them more fluffy. And so you have to ask for shelled
eggs.
And if you ask for shelled eggs, they know exactly what you're talking about and they'll give them to you. So let's see. Dennis says, a very good morning, Shauna. There you go. Danita says, I was going to get a Delmonico steak for my birthday dinner, but maybe I should get a prime rib for National Prime Rib Day.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, you're going to get a singing to. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danita. Happy birthday to you. Prime rib sounds great for birthday. To Krazy Ketos says we don't go to Cracker Barrel anymore because we have an attachment to the biscuits and the chicken and dumplings. So we talked about Keto Chow drop biscuits yesterday.
Yes.
I made, a double batch. First I mixed up I had the powdered egg white protein.
Okay.
So I mixed some of that up in a blender bottle.
Okay.
And it was just sitting there doing its thing, and every once in a while I'd shake it up, just so it would properly mix.
Incorporate.
Because I didn't want to bother with separating egg whites from yolks.
Right.
And then I did Heath's thing. I used the same measurement of pork panko instead of almond flour.
Okay.
And it was really interesting because you put in the the pork panko and the Keto Chow savory chicken soup and the baking soda. Mix those up. Then you add the cubed butter.
Yes.
And kind of dig those around. And then it's like, okay, here we go. Egg whites. I poured it in there. I'm like, this is not going to work.
Because it's like super liquidy.
It was like so liquidy. I was like, this is wrong. I just sat there and stirred it up, and it just went.
Oh, nice.
And then I spooned it out onto a parchment paper.
Did they
baked
rise?
It. Yeah, they totally
I
rose.
should have looked at them.
They're in the cooler.
Something.
But yeah, it turned out fantastic.
Nice.
No almond flour. They're going to be super low carb because no almond flour.
Well, that's low carb too, but.
Well, low carb-ish. It's low carb adjacent. How about that?
It's just more low carb, right?
Let's see. Radical Geek says, to try out going to Golden Corral because they do have cheap cuts of beef on the grill.
Yes.
Cottage cheese, salad greens, omelets for breakfast time, grilled chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Pat says Olive Garden used to have a steak. Last time I looked,
they might.
I didn't see
Yeah.
a steak.
We just haven't been in so many years.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like, I don't even bother with it unless everyone's like, no, we're going to go to Olive Garden. I'm like, ah. But then I'll bite into the pepperoncino and squirt Miriam in the eye.
That only happened once.
Magical Wolf says, chocolate toffee in my coffee this morning. Yum, I need another one. Salt and Butter Vibes says, my favorite go-to is Smoky Bones. It's a barbecue that does great steaks. Not snakes. They have some great snakes and ribs.
Snakes are keto.
Let's see. Jessica says, good morning. We don't
Good
eat often, but
morning.
since becoming keto, what restaurants can you get the best keto food for the best value?
We go to steakhouses a lot. I really like Longhorn Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse, Buffalo Wild Wings. We just get the bone-in wings. And
the dry rubs, most of them are pretty solid options. Two Krazy Ketos has a great video on what you can get at Buffalo Wild Wings.
we really like Brazilian barbecue.
Yeah, but if
And
you're
we
talking
don't
about a
even get
value,
yeah, that's kind of expensive.
yeah, I don't know. Carl's Jr. is always good for boneless. I mean, for boneless burgers. Oh my gosh.
I think you're right. They're good at boneless burgers.
Susan says I watched several hours of Keto Salt Lake on the
Boneless
flight back from Ireland.
Yes.
That's a perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Lisa says I watch most recorded YouTube videos at 1.75 speed
Oh,
to pack in more knowledge.
That's great.
That is a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Shauna says, ouch, less heavy whipping cream in my coffee. Keto Chow makes for too hot and burned down my throat.
Oh, no.
Oh, Radical Geek says, yeah, carved turkey and baked fish,
Yes,
too, at a lot of the
yes.
different buffets. Let's see, Holly says, I have done Golden Corral Keto. You keep going back for the steak. Well, and see, that the funny
And
thing,
they have butter.
they are, those places are anticipating that most people are going to fill up on the carbs.
Yeah.
And
Because
so
the
when,
meat's the most expensive part.
yeah, so you go there and you eat just the meat, you're getting a lot better value.
Yeah, and
You're
it's
still
like, what,
overpaying.
$12 to $14 or something?
Yeah.
I mean, compared to like getting a steak at a really nice place.
Virginia says, good morning. Purple Ace has got to leave for a meeting. We'll catch the rest later.
Five Guys. We really like Five Guys.
Yeah. No, any place where you can just get a bunch of hamburgers, like hamburger patties.
Yeah.
Like, it's a day for lunch. That's what I'm going to have is a bunch of hamburger patties.
Nice.
Although I brought bacon for us to pack, and Steve's like, dude, I have so much bacon. I'm like, well, it was on my list to bring, Steve.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to bring it.
Well, you're welcome to make me some bacon for
He
breakfast.
says, we're going to cook it on the griddle. We
I'm
have a
gonna be
Blackstone
gone.
here.
I have a nail appointment
Yeah, but you're going to be coming back.
for lunch.
Yeah.
I have a nail appointment for lunch.
And then we're going to go to the scuba shop and rent scuba gear.
Yeah. Yeah.
JC Bean says our Golden Corral has a hot grill cooking steaks and other
nice.
Really?
That's awesome. Well, and the thing about the cruise too is they'll make the omelet however you want them to make it.
Oh, at the cruise? Yeah.
So that's so fun because at first
The best thing to do is you go over and get the butter from the other part
Yeah, and
and
you're
bring
like,
it over to them.
use
Like,
this instead of oil.
yeah, please don't use the oil. Use this.
And they're great. They just recognize you when you start.
After
coming
a
over.
while,
They're like,
they had
"Would you
a
like
bowl of butter.
Omelet with extra eggs and
It was
extra
awesome.
cheese and extra meat.
Yep. Shauna says schoolyard snack cereal equals keto kicks.
Yeah.
Yep. And Carrie says, I thought Chris was already nutty without the almonds.
Yeah,
It's true.
He's a nut.
Joe Keto says, I definitely weigh the magic spoon, but one serving generally lasts me 5 or 6 snack attacks. Wow.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, you're talking about the big bag, yeah. Dorothy says, I play Words with Friends, and your Keto Chow ads are on in between playing different
Nice.
people. I love it.
That just makes
They
me
have
so
my
happy.
number. Yeah, it's because you've been on our Facebook page
Mm-hmm.
at some point. Sky says, I've never been to Texas Roadhouse.
Guy,
You can
come
try it.
here and we'll go to Texas Roadhouse together.
Shauna says, we have steak knives in the car, only keto peeps. Well, it's because we're going on
Yeah,
a trip.
well,
and we're going to be having steaks.
we
And
do
Steve's
have
like,
steak
we need
knives
steak
in the
knives.
car.
I'm like, great.
Because it's great camping and being able to make a steak, but if you can't actually physically eat it because you're breaking your fork. If Travis was with us, he would break
break
the
a
fork
fork
every
every
day.
April says, Mexican is hard to say no to chips and salsa when everyone else is enjoying them.
I know. It's
Yeah.
hard. That we have not been to a Mexican restaurant, I think.
Yeah, we used to go to
either.
Salsalitos with Ben and Paloma all the time.
Yeah, they had this Mexican pizza that I just loved. It had every bite together. And you can get a taco salad anywhere, really. So you
Yep.
could easily get a taco salad just without the shell and totally
You mean taco guts?
keto. Yeah. So that's a
taco
great keto option. And I know sometimes they put sugar in the taco sauce. So I get that. But yeah, I have that association, so I don't want to go to a Mexican restaurant.
Yep. Renee says, I had no idea about the pancakes and eggs. Yeah, it's one of those things that everybody starts keto and they have to go through a couple things. One of them is learning that Russell Stover sugar-free candy that they sell at
Yeah, it
Walmart.
has maltodextrin in it.
It's not sugar-free. And then, learning about the pancake batter and the eggs at a lot of places.
Yep,
It's
and
surprising.
It's annoying being the picky person all the time, but it seems like people at restaurants really want to be helpful, and if you're kind to them, it helps a lot.
Yeah, Miriam likes to ask them, how's your day going?
How are you? What are you going to do today? What's your fun weekend plans? Blah, blah, blah.
So we had someone ask about the
the drop
recipe
biscuits.
for the drop biscuits.
Nice.
So we're just going to go here to the Keto Chow recipe page. I just type drop. It's going to do its thing. And so there's the ingredients. And instead of almond flour,
We used pork panko.
and instead of the 4 large egg whites, I just used 4 tablespoons of dried egg white and a half cup of water.
And you put it in the blender bottle to let it mix up.
Yes. So, and that's if you're using dried egg whites, whisk egg powder together with water in a separate bowl. Is that spelled right?
Separate.
I think I spelled that wrong. I always second guess myself.
S-E-P. Chanel.
Anyway, and Priscilla says, can you use liquid egg whites in place of powdered egg whites in recipes? It depends on the recipe. So like
You
Maria
probably
Emmerich's
can.
egg bread.
Yeah, you can't do it with that. Well,
Okay, the last
we've
part.
done it okay, but
The last part, you add powdered egg whites to the mix.
yeah,
After it's been turned into a meringue.
yeah.
You have to use powdered egg whites at that point.
It's because it will flatten what you've already made fluffy. So
Yeah,
if you use liquid egg whites to make it to be fluffy in the first place, you can use
That
that
works.
for that part.
But then you
you
have to
can't
use-
add it to the end.
Yeah, if you have to
and
use
you
dry
could
at the
still
end.
try, and it's just going to be a little bit flatter bread. It still works. It's just not as like puffy and wonderful. Yeah.
Dorothy says, I have some radishes I'm going to make potato salad with. Also time to boil some eggs.
Yes, Dorothy.
Oh,
wanna see a
Shauna,
picture
for
of
some
that
reason,
salad.
switched to phone from PC, and live chat is catching up super fast.
Oh, wow.
Randy says, what day is it? Someday. There you go. Let's see, Rita says, Olive Garden does have a steak, but it's really small and not very filling. Yeah, so okay, why even bother?
Yeah.
Strong says, yeah, my Keto Chow order is out for delivery. Pina colada ice cream for tomorrow.
Yay!
Joe posted in the YouTube chat the Buffalo Wild Wings post.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, his post, right? Not
Yes,
our post.
his post. And Dennis says Radicchio's was a good thing to discover. And they have a video on that as well.
Nice.
Let's see. Shauna says only a couple of decent recipes have prime rib. She means restaurants. Have prime rib in Napa, but I'm saving that money for cruise shenanigans.
Yeah.
Too Krazy Ketos says dollar for dollar, the best value is to eat at a Brazilian steakhouse and make it a 1 meal a day.
Yes, it's a nomad
You get the
day.
most amount of nutrition per dollar. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And he said, and going for lunch, which is up to
Yeah,
about 3
lunch is
p.m.
a
at most
good
of them,
time.
you save you about $20 a person.
Plus, you'll be full all day, and you won't have to eat till the next day.
Seriously, eating 1 meal a day and just chowing down on the picanha. Oh,
Yeah, I could just have picanha.
Lisa says fajitas at Mexican restaurant are my favorite. Throw some sour cream on that. Throw some cheese on there.
Yeah.
Too Crazy Keto says if we go to Texas Roadhouse, on average the bill is about $75. For that save $75, you can get a lot more meat at a Brazilian steakhouse.
And it's yummy.
True that.
It's like a good flavor. And salted. Like, sometimes we still always salt it, but.
Yep. Darlene says we become picky people at our church potlucks and only
Right.
eat what we bring since we know what's in there.
I know.
That's why
and
we-
That's okay.
That's why we always bring the
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Always.
Yep.
And we'll bring sheets and sheets of them, and they always get eaten.
Miriam
every
found these
single
Rubbermaid
thing.
deviled
found
egg
them.
holders. Oh, Holly found them?
Yeah, at Walmart.
At Walmart. And they hold 15
Yeah.
egg halves. Well, actually, you could put a whole egg in there.
Yeah, you could.
And this last time, I used 24 eggs that I had gotten from Joe that they bought at Sam's Club.
Yes,
I mean,
thank you, by
at
the way.
Costco. Thank you, Joe. I actually sent him pictures. I'm like, thanks for the eggs, Joe. And he's like, hey, that's awesome. And then I did an additional 2 dozen eggs. So we
That
did
was for-
4 dozen eggs.
What was that for? What we made it for?
It was for Ben and Paloma's.
Oh yeah.
So it was 60. We ended up with 60 deviled eggs. We still have a couple.
Yeah.
I've
you
been
put
eating
too much
them.
vinegar in it this time.
No, that's what deviled eggs are supposed to taste like. It's supposed to have that vinegary.
Spicy taste. I want bacon in it.
Ruth doesn't like the bacon in it.
I know. Sometimes.
Well, it says I need to try the biscuits with the
convert
pork panko. It turned out really well. Cindy says Carnivore Angel makes wonderful Hawaiian rolls using the protein-sparing modified bread recipe.
Yes.
And Janet Greta also makes really good PSMF bread. Yes,
Yes.
they do.
We love that.
Pam says, did you add the same amount of pork panko as almond flour?
Yep.
Yes, I did. Dennis says, Chris, can separate that word from me? Appropriate amount of S's. Yeah, right? Let's see. Swang says, is coconut manna and coconut butter the same thing?
They're different.
Yeah, so coconut butter, I think, is more of just the fat, whereas coconut manna is they take the meat of the coconut and they puree it.
It's super thick. It's a little bit hard to work with too, but you could try it. I would just use coconut oil because I've done that and it's great.
Oh. LaShawna says at a Brazilian steakhouse you can get 1 pound of any meat a la carte.
Yeah, that's true.
I like going to
Oh,
barbecue restaurants and just
That's what I was
ordering.
gonna say, I like barbecue.
And whenever someone recommends that we go to a barbecue place, I always look up the menu ahead of time. If you can buy meat
By the pound.
by the pound or half pound, that is the sort of place I want to go to.
Yeah.
Because then you just go there and you're like, okay, I want 2 pounds of brisket, I want a half pound of sausage, I want blah, 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 blah,
5
blah.
pounds of burn ends just for
And
me.
it's just on a big plate and everybody just grabs it off and you just eat it till it's gone.
Yeah. When we were in Las Vegas, we went to a barbecue place and we ended up getting one of those like family meal things. And I couldn't figure out like why she recommended it for 3 people because we got 12 rolls. Like, why do 3 people need 12 rolls?
Well, see, if you order the meat by the pound, you're not getting any of the sides.
Well, I figured they would fill up on sides and I would eat meat. And
Okay.
we actually had a little bit of meat left over and some
Weird.
rolls that we didn't eat. And I didn't eat any of them in the first place, but we ended up bringing them to the kids
Okay.
the next day.
Oh, at the wedding. Carol says, good morning to you all for this fine Wednesday. Hello. LaShawn says, yeah, that's only $16 a pound if you do it that way. Too Crazy Ketos says, we're going to a Brazilian steakhouse today and taking a scale to see how much meat we actually eat.
That's a good idea.
That's going to be, the guys are going to be like,
What?
what are you doing? We're like,
Just want to see how much I can pack away.
all you have to say is, we're YouTubers.
Yeah. It's true.
We're YouTube content creators. LaShawn says, what other liquid can I use for the egg pudding other than almond milk? So a lot of times with the egg pudding, the original egg pudding recipe that Maria Emmerich did, she has a lot of her clients that don't do well with dairy. And so probably a significant majority of her recipes are dairy-free.
Yep. Which
So-
is great.
Which is great.
option.
If you can do dairy, you can just flat out use heavy cream. Or you can just use water.
Yep.
Or
I still like it best with the coconut oil. Or
Coconut
cream. But
Yeah.
it does give it a different flavor and creaminess. That's probably why
but the
I
original
like it that
recipe
way.
was, yeah.
And I like it with the cinnamon and you don't. And that's okay because we don't have to like the same thing.
Yeah, Joe says, I can't wait to see the waiter's face when we pop a scale down on the table.
We're like, bloop.
You should also get out a timer, like one of those chess timers, and tell them you're timing how long in between.
Oh no. I actually don't like it when they come really fast because
Oh, yeah?
it bothers me. Because I feel like I have to eat fast and then I
No,
can
you're
pull
you're
fast.
loading up a plate and then you get to pull up from it as it cools.
I know, but I want to eat it as it's hot. Like I want them to bring me a piece of meat hot and then I eat it. And then bring me another piece and then it's hot and then I eat it.
I don't know why I've never tried this before. Dennis says, I prefer pickle juice over vinegar for deviled eggs.
Why have we not done that yet?
I don't know.
I've done relish in it before.
Why have I never done
Challenge
that?
accepted.
Shauna says, I did that after I landed home with Keto Salt Lake. I got myself a pound of tri-tip. Just finished it. Nice. Let's see. Shauna says, I put it in my Keto Chow shakes for a chocolate malt or vanilla malt or strawberry malt. You get the, not the tri-tip, the other stuff. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I'm waiting for the waiter's reaction.
Yeah, you should
Pam
say,
says,
can I film you real quick?
I'm with you, Miriam. They come by too quickly at the restaurant.
Right? And then I'm like, oh,
Lynn
I
says,
didn't
I always
enjoy
use
it."
pickle juice in my deviled eggs. See, again, why haven't I ever done that?
Because you're following a different recipe.
No, see, Virginia says, do I have a recipe for deviled eggs? No, I just kind of eyeball it.
We just do vinegar and what else?
Yep.
Mustard.
Sky says pickle juice and finely chopped pickles make deviled eggs perfect. And bacon bits.
Bacon.
Dorothy says, I love pickle juice and deviled eggs, also, and the relish.
Relish.
And Dr. Maitreya says, yep, I agree. I also use pickle juice, no vinegar. Such a good use of pickle juice. And it's salty, too.
Yeah.
Cindy says, I use Khalifa Farms almond coconut
Oh, cool,
milk,
cool.
like two Krazy Ketos use for the egg pudding. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Well, we are going to go.
Yeah.
We got.
We got to get some work done.
I got a notice from California today that says that they think that we are have a
franchise?
California franchise, and we need to file income tax.
If
with
we
them.
had a California franchise, I'd go over there.
I would no. Hey, Lisa's here. Says loving the grape
Hi,
chow.
Lisa. Glad you liked
John
it.
says, were there 2 live streams last night? Yes, there were,
I'm
because
sorry. What a
it
pain.
ended. I actually figured out the problem and got it fixed. There
Good
was
job.
a physical cable problem downstairs with the Wi-Fi router. So, all right, we're out. Have a great day. I'll probably see you
Peace.
from the road tomorrow. So, bye-bye.
Bye.